Welcome back to day 3 of the Shadowing Practice Challenge. If you've made it this far, give yourself a big smile. You're showing dedication, and that's something to be proud of. Every time you come back, listen and repeat. You're building a strong habit, and habits lead to fluency. Shadowing might feel slow at first, but it works. The more you do it, the easier speaking English becomes. Today, we continue our journey with another simple and interesting story. Just like before, your task is to listen carefully, repeat after me, and stay focused. You don't need to understand every word right away. You just need to stay with the rhythm, match the voice, and trust the process. Speaking English is like training a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Shadowing is one of the best ways to improve your pronunciation, sentence flow, and speaking confidence. And the best part? You're not just memorizing grammar rules, you're learning English the way it's really spoken. So stay with me till the end of the video. The story today is engaging, realistic, and perfect for your practice. Let's begin day 3 together. And remember, your goal is not perfection. Your goal is progress. Let's go. Jason was a 25-year-old man who lived in a small town in Oregon. He worked at a local hardware store 5 days a week and lived in a small apartment above a bakery. His life was quiet and simple. He liked it that way. Every morning, he drank coffee on his tiny balcony while listening to the early sounds of the street below. He enjoyed routine. He liked knowing what came next. Jason didn't have many close friends. He had a few people he spoke to at work, and sometimes he played video games online with his old college roommate. But mostly, he spent time by himself. He didn't mind being alone. It gave him time to think. He often thought about the forest that surrounded the town, about the lake where he used to fish with his grandfather, and about the memories of summers that seemed longer and warmer when he was a child. One Friday evening, as Jason was closing the store, he noticed a flyer taped to the window. It was brightly colored and said there would be a weekend hiking event in the nearby national park. The event was open to anyone between the ages of 20 and 40. The goal was simple: disconnect from technology, meet new people, and enjoy nature. Jason stood there for a minute looking at the flyer. He hadn't gone hiking in years. Still, something about it stayed in his mind as he walked home. That night, while eating dinner alone, he kept thinking about the event. He remembered the hiking boots he still had in his closet, dusty but usable. He thought about how long it had been since he spent a weekend outside. Without really planning it, he found himself filling out the form online and clicking the register button. The next morning, he packed a small bag with snacks, a water bottle, sunscreen, a raincoat, and his old hiking boots. He took the bus to the meeting point where about 15 people were already gathered. They looked friendly. Some were chatting in small groups. Others looked just as nervous as he felt. Jason noticed a man around his age wearing a blue cap and holding a camera. His name was Tyler. Tyler smiled when Jason looked at him and gave him a small nod. There was also a woman named Rachel who seemed to be in charge. She welcomed everyone and explained the plan. They would hike for 2 hours, stop for lunch, and then continue deeper into the woods to set up camp. Everyone would be expected to help in some way, carrying supplies, setting up tents, or preparing food. Jason didn't mind. In fact, he found the idea refreshing. The hike began with quiet steps through tall trees. The forest air was cool and clean. Sunlight passed through the leaves, painting the ground in green and gold. People began talking as they walked. Jason ended up near Tyler and a woman named Maya, who worked as a freelance graphic designer. She had bright red shoes and a laugh that echoed through the trees. At first, Jason didn't say much. He just listened and walked. But as the group took breaks and shared snacks, he began to feel more comfortable. Tyler talked about his love for photography and how he spent weekends traveling to small towns to take pictures of forgotten places. Maya shared how working from home made her lonely sometimes, and how this trip was her way of getting out of the house. As the afternoon passed, the group reached the campsite. Everyone helped set up tents and prepare a small fire. Jason helped carry logs and later offered to boil water for tea. He was surprised by how natural it felt to work alongside strangers. There was no pressure. No one cared about his job or his background. They just cared about the present moment. That evening, the group sat around the fire sharing stories. Rachel told a funny story about getting lost in a corn maze. Tyler showed a few photos he had taken during the hike, and Maya made everyone laugh with her impressions of forest animals. Jason didn't tell a story, but he listened, really listened, and for the first time in a long while, he felt connected to people again. The stars came out slowly. The sky was clear, and the fire crackled softly. Some people sang quietly, while others wrapped themselves in blankets. Jason sat beside the fire, looking up at the stars. He remembered nights like this with his grandfather, nights filled with quiet wonder. He felt something in his chest, something warm, calm, and rare. The next morning, the group woke up early. Jason helped pack up and clean the area. Before they started the return hike, Rachel suggested a silent walk for the first mile. No one would talk. They would just listen to the forest. Jason liked that idea. As they walked quietly, he heard birds, the rustle of animals in the bushes, the wind in the leaves, and the soft sound of boots on dirt. When they reached the end of the trail, it was time to say goodbye. People hugged, exchanged numbers, and promised to meet again. Jason didn't say much, but his smile said enough. Tyler handed him a small printed photo, a picture of the group sitting by the fire. On the back, he had written, "See you on the next trail." Jason returned to his apartment with sore legs and a light heart. The weekend had changed something inside him. He no longer felt the need to spend every weekend alone. He still enjoyed his quiet mornings, his coffee, and his books, but now he knew the value of stepping out of routine. He had met people, shared stories, and been part of something real. Over the next few weeks, Jason joined a local hiking group. He went on short walks after work and started taking pictures with his phone. Sometimes he would text Tyler to ask for tips. He even sent a thank you message to Rachel for organizing the weekend. Maya invited him to a small art fair and he went. He didn't talk much, but he showed up, and that was new for him. One Saturday morning, Jason found himself packing his bag again. This time it felt different. He was no longer unsure. He had discovered that life wasn't just about work or staying safe in routines. Sometimes it was about stepping into the unknown and letting new experiences shape you. Jason didn't become a new person overnight. He was still quiet, still thoughtful, but now he was open to small adventures, new faces, and simple joys. He understood that even a short weekend can change your view of life if you let it. If you followed this story till the end and repeated after me, you've already taken a great step toward speaking English more fluently. Shadowing is not just about words, it's about rhythm, emotion, and building confidence. By reading along with real stories like Jason's, you're learning how English sounds in real situations, how sentences connect, and how to speak smoothly and naturally. Jason's weekend hike may seem like a small event, but it brought him a fresh perspective, new friendships, and a quiet kind of joy. That's what I want you to experience too. Not just learning English, but enjoying the process. Every day with each story, you're getting better. It may feel slow, but progress is happening. Keep showing up, keep repeating, keep believing in yourself. Remember, this is day 3 of the 15-day shadowing challenge. If you've done all 3 days so far, give yourself credit. You're building a habit that will lead you to confidence and fluency. And don't worry if you make mistakes. That's how real learning happens. Stay consistent, and by day 15, you'll see how far you've come. Make sure to like this video if you enjoyed the story. Leave a comment to tell me what part of the story you liked most, and subscribe so you don't miss day 4. We have many more stories coming your way, each one designed to help you listen, repeat, and speak better English every single day.